I'm very pleased to say, on the day after the UK has signed effectively a treaty with Ukraine and offered up another 2.5 billion in assistance to Ukraine, we've got Oleksiy Goncharenko from the Ukrainian Parliament on the line joining me. Oleksiy, hello.
Hi.
Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. It's all over the news in the UK on the day that the British government were engaged in the Red Sea. Rishi Sunak also flew on a surprise visit for us to Ukraine and announced effectively a treaty and 2.5 billion further support from the British people. Now, I'll be very clear. I think this is our fight as well. So my own personal view is that this is the right decision. But there are many people here who do question the decision. Can you tell us what that support package will do for Ukraine?
Hi, first of all, thank you very much to you for your position and for talkTV that you are covering Ukraine. And we're very thankful to Prime Minister and people of the United Kingdom for this support. And that was important yesterday. And I think that was the best place to be, taking into account that Russian Federation yesterday, they called the urgent meeting of Security Council in the United Nations after the American and British attack against Houthi. And I think that was the best place for Rishi Sunak to be when Russians are calling for United Nations Security Council. Speaking about this support, it is 2.5 billion pounds in military support, which is a little bit more than it was in 2022 when it was 2.3, and in 2023 when it was 2.3. So it is a little bit more, but more or less constant number. What it can do? Just for your comparison, Russian military budget is near $100 billion. So this near $3 billion, if to calculate it in dollars, this is very important for us. But definitely, I can't tell you that it's something which will destroy Russian army completely. It is not. But this gives us a possibility to fight, and that shows, and this treaty for 10 years shows to Putin that he will not outweigh the free world, that he thinks that he can wait. But the free world, by this, for example, decision of the United Kingdom, shows that the free world is also ready to fight and to spend this time. So I think this is a very important signal, both for Ukraine, for Putin, for the whole free world.
Oleksiy, we talk about the free world, but there's obviously difficulties in America, with disagreements in America as to how much support the Republicans, particularly in Congress, not making it easy. The European Union has its own difficulties as well. Are you confident, nevertheless, that as we continue in the middle of this winter, that you will have ongoing support, you know, beyond the next few months, but as long as it takes to prevent the defeat of Ukraine and taken over by Russia?
Yeah, I am confident because I believe in goodwill, and I believe in the free world to be smart and intelligent and not to make huge mistakes. I was listening before the break, what you were speaking with people about, and you said about does the United Kingdom need to be engaged? I just want to remind you, 1938, and Prime Minister Chamberlain, who said this is a fight far along from our country, which we are not really interested in. And then Nazi Germany attacked the United Kingdom. That is absolutely the same story. If you will not stop the tyrant will sooner or later attack you. That is the reality. That is the lessons of history. And it's much better to stop Putin now in Ukraine than to stop him later by the lives of British soldiers and officers. And that's why I believe this is a great investment of the United Kingdom. And yes, the moment today is difficult. In the US, we see all these debates in the Congress. We see in Europe again some because of Prime Minister Orban of Hungary, who is trying to stop, because I think he's playing like a Putin's agent. He's like a Trojan horse. But at this moment, that was very important that UK again showed leadership, like it was in February 2022, like it was in 2023. And again, prime ministers are changing, but the leadership of the UK is still on the place. I think it's very important for us, and we will never forget it. But it's also important, I think, for the whole free world.
Let me ask you a very blunt question. Former President Trump, he says he can stop the war immediately. That suggests he would actually force Ukraine to the table of negotiation, which, personally, I think would be a huge mistake. But he would be president of the United States if he wins the election. He actually has the ability to do that, doesn't he?
Yes, he has. But, you know, you remember how it was, I think, in ancient Greece, in Sparta, when they were said, when we will win, and then they answered, if. The only one word. So we don't know whether Mr. Trump is going to win or not. It's up to American people who will be their president. Yes, I heard many of his statements. But I think, speaking about Mr. Trump, I think he is unpredictable. That is the reality. And I really don't know what he will do with this war. And I think even Mr. Trump, for the moment, doesn't know. I think he will decide it. First, he will win, if he will win, and then he will decide what to do.
But sorry, Oleksiy, can I just pick up on that point? Forgive me for interrupting you.
Yeah.
But President Trump is making a very typical theme of his election, which is America first. That is effectively why he's encouraging Congress to block substantial payments to Ukraine. He believes it's all about America first. I can't see him changing that position.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but you really think he is doing this because of Ukraine?
I think he's doing it for him.
I think he's doing it to damage Biden. That is the problem for Ukraine today, that Ukraine became inside of this internal political struggle in the United States. So I really don't like it, but I can't do anything with this. But I don't think that when Trump now and MAGA people in the US Congress, when they are attacking the support to Ukraine, I really think that they are just in the elections. And I remember President Obama, and when Putin started the invasion, it was 2014, and President Obama did nothing in reality. That was the reality, what had happened. And then President Trump came and he gave to Ukraine, for example, javelins, which we were rejected by President Obama. I'm not a fan of President Trump. I just want to tell you that we really can't predict what will happen, and Mr. Trump is really unpredictable.
Okay.
So maybe that will be a big threat.
Well, it may be
also opportunity.
An unpredictability in President Trump is sometimes seen as a strength because people don't know what he's going to do, and they might behave. But one final question for you. Across the world, there will be at least 60 elections. 2 billion people will be going to the opinion polls, including the European Union, 9 European countries. Will Ukraine have elections this year?
Yeah, we will be happy to have elections because it will mean that the war is over. When the missiles are falling on our heads, it's just impossible, technically. I am representing Ukrainian opposition, but I am telling you, we can't have elections today because it is impossible. But I hope that during this year, the war will be finished, and this will mean that we will have elections.
OK, well, you've been very clear about that. So the opposition accept the reality of the situation.
Absolutely. It's impossible to have elections today just just impossible. It's you know, every day missile attacks, shelters, everything. We can't have elections.
Well, listen, thank you very much for joining us, Oleksiy Goncharenko, joining us live from Ukraine.